Today, we have the most unsettling and eerie clips that are really difficult to explain.
Para servir, parabéns.
And some are straight up unbelievable.
What is happening?
And be on the lookout for today's subscribers pick. You'll definitely be shocked by that one. Strange behavior. This eerie clip from Mexico showed 3 men trying to control a guy who was behaving strangely. His entire body was levitating. If you look at his lower body, his legs are up in the air. Then, when the men thought he had calmed down, he threw a chair and continued the unsettling behavior. Since no wires are visible, this unsettling clip was enough to make people believe that there was something creepy going on. Broken wall. A security camera caught this man sitting in a chair in an isolated room. At first, his head was down, but then, suddenly, he stood up and looked at the wall. His body language was weird as he slowly walked towards the wall and started breaking it, making a hole in it. Then, he passed out of that hole and escaped that area. Men could be seen through the hole running after him because he was a suspect in a crime who escaped and was not captured again. Unnatural woman. I am sure this next clip will make you stop and stare. In the central station, this group was sitting when they spotted someone who didn't appear to have a head. The way this person was dressed made them look like an elderly woman carrying luggage. But the entire scene was so baffling, even the people recording could not believe their eyes. It could have been a camera glitch, but based on the group's reaction, that doesn't seem to be true. What do you think? Eerie drag. If you work in the night shift, then this clip is for you. This waiter was doing his job, looking around and checking if everything was okay at the place. Then all of a sudden, an eerie moment happened, and he was pulled by his leg and dragged backward on the floor. He tried to stop himself by holding a chair, but could not, and the video cut off. Sudden movement. It was May of 2024 when this creepy incident happened. A bartender was making a cocktail when she took a bottle and poured it into the glass. She repeated the same and grabbed another bottle. But this time, something strange happened. As she poured it into the glass, the bottle changed its direction and moved away from her hand. It looked like some hidden force pulled it toward itself. The woman was standing there wondering if she had just seen a paranormal activity. Weird disappearance. This footage from a school security camera showed a real-life glitch caught on camera. The boy was playing with a ball. He was throwing it on the wall, and it was coming back to him. It happened many times, but then came a time when it came back to him, and he was trying to hold it like before, but it slipped from his hand and vanished. He looked around, but the ball was not there. Hard to believe. An Instagram user shared this unsettling video online, which drew the attention of everyone. It showed this eerie figure standing in the middle of the road. Its appearance was eerie, and it was hard to recognize this. No one could tell about it. The user also changed the camera angle to see its real identity, but all in vain. And it remained a mystery till now. If you guys know anything about it, do let us know in the comments below. Unmoving person. A man's night walk turned into a nightmare when he captured this strange sight. While passing by a road, he saw this man standing between his car door and the seat. Actually, he was not even standing. He was bent backward unnaturally. His eyes were rolled up, and his position looked eerie. The man was possessed by an evil spirit who was controlling his actions and bending his body in this freaky way. Mysterious sight. An explorer was walking through the Kopong village of Botswana when his camera caught this unreal sight. He saw this man who was about 6.8 feet, and the most unsettling part was that he was lifting about a 300-pound trunk. He grabbed it on his shoulder from the ground and put it on the other side. The explorer was shocked to see this because a normal human cannot lift this much weight. Later, the villagers told him that there is a tribe living there which has the strongest men. Unseen force. The grocery store security camera caught this strange video that showed this man looking around the shelves. This seemed eerie how he was moving and looking around weirdly. Then, out of nowhere, some invisible force charged at him and he was pushed to the floor. Well, I think he crossed the path of an unseen visitor and then had to face the reaction. Embarrassing push. A strange incident occurred in Brazil, causing serious consequences for a priest. The priest was giving a religious sermon to a crowd of thousands.
Tanto que o sacerdote age na pessoa de Cristo.
When suddenly a woman came behind him. She pushed him down in the crowd. Her smile and body language did not look normal. She seemed possessed, and her possession was triggered by hearing those religious verses by the priest. That is why the woman acted bizarrely.
Parabéns.
Creepy curse. You guys have heard about curse stories, but this upcoming video is proof of what a real curse looks like. A group of friends went to a restricted area where they found these buried relics. One of the boys was trying to pull out a fawn's head buried in the ground, but things took a bizarre turn as he pulled it out. The boy became possessed and started acting strangely. He fell on the ground with a substance coming from his mouth. Then another boy went near and touched him, and the same thing happened to him. Because the head was cursed, and whoever touched it faced the consequences. Vanishing mystery. Now this is something scary. This man got the biggest chill of his life. While he was driving back home late at night, he saw something in the middle of the road. The man stopped the car and went out to see. As he stepped out, there was a figure standing covered with a black cloth. He pulled the cloth to see who it was, and boom, there was no one under it. Honestly, this was terrifying. The cloth fell on the road as it was just hanging in the air. After this, the man did not look back, ran to his car, and sped away. Unnatural position. Sometimes the camera captures those eerie things that we are not supposed to see. A woman was standing in a coffee shop waiting for her turn, but then she did a strange thing that was impossible to do for an ordinary human being. The woman bent her legs backward unnaturally. She thought no one would see, and did it again. But a guy noticed her and started recording. She looked like those shapeshifters who could not hold on to their real identity for a long time and reveal it. Eerie sight. Have you ever seen the unseen? Well, maybe this man did. It was 2024 when this guard was doing his night duty like any normal day. But then the security camera caught this weird moment. The sliding door of the shop opened as someone entered the store. Then the man came and opened the barrier and started talking. It looked like he was talking to someone, and then he closed the barrier again and went away. This looked like he could see otherworldly spirits, but there is another possibility. He could be suffering from schizophrenia, where people experience auditory hallucinations and hear voices that seem real. This can lead them to appear to be talking to themselves as they respond to these voices. Disturbing incident. Before watching this bizarre video, I must tell you guys that it is hard to believe. A surveillance camera recorded this footage of a woman. She was crossing the road when a car at full speed hit her. What do we expect next? That she must be in the hospital, treating herself, right? But what happened after this was nothing like we expected. The woman did not even get a scratch, and she continued crossing the road. But the car was damaged when it hit her leg. She did not look normal at all, and it was enough to convince me and many others that something eerily disturbing just happened, without any logical explanation. Again and again. A tourist was exploring Japan when he saw this woman. She was standing at the back of her car, but not just standing. As you can see, she had a camera in her hand, and she was clicking a picture and then looking into it. The woman was doing it in the same position, with the same facial expression again and again. Her movements were eerie and weird. She looked stuck in a loop, and that was unsettling. Duplication. An Instagram user posted this video online that caught the attention of the world. It showed this girl removing a mask. After removing it, there was a completely different face that came out. This clip led to many debates online. People are saying that the government is using this new technique to hide shapeshifters and extraterrestrials. Some even said it's a cover-up for those alien whistleblowers who vanished mysteriously, and now some other people are pretending to be them. But many of the viewers gave a logical explanation that actors use this kind of makeup and masks for their roles in movies. So, on which side do you guys fall? Rainy glitch. Real-life glitch in the Matrix caught on camera. It was a rainy day when this man went to his farm to check on his horses, but what he saw there was unsettling for him. He saw that all of his horses were standing one after another, and they were not moving. It looked like scenery, but it was a real sight. Strange activity. This video captured 3 turkeys circling a grave. Their behavior was something strange. Everyone who watched this clip had the same question. Why were they moving like this? The owner of the video claimed that they were doing a ritual to make the deceased person alive. But then a man opposed his claim in the comments and said that this is an ancient evolutionary instinct. They're flagging a food source, carcass, to their allies, the vultures. Since the vultures can't reach the body, they don't come, so the turkeys are left flagging the same location over and over. Controlled actions. Watching the wind being controlled by someone is something truly mesmerizing and weird at the same time. This footage showed a woman standing outside an old wooden door. Then she started moving her hands and body like she was flowing with the wind. And then came the most unsettling moment. She controlled the wind and led it toward the door to open it. In fiction, people who can control the wind are called wind manipulators, or airbenders. But maybe there are people out there with these abilities to manipulate the movement of wind, and calling it fiction is another way of hiding people with these abilities. Creepy encounter. Next is this leaked video that was posted on Instagram. It showed a man who was blacklisted from the land beyond the ice wall. He had strange-looking eyes, and there were marks on his face. But the most disturbing thing was his mouth. Look at his mouth. Show the mouth here. While he was speaking, he showed his bizarre teeth, which were long and creepy. In some fictional narratives, the ice wall represents a barrier to unknown realms, and people living beyond it might be a distinct civilization or species, and this man looked like one of those. Unseen force. This gym trainer was asked by security who he was talking to, and he replied that he was chatting with a visitor until the security showed him the CCTV footage, and this was his reaction. His body was shivering with terror. The guy did not know who he was talking to, but it felt like some unseen visitor that was only visible to him. Passing visitor.
Las boobies.
Hospitals are said to be the place where the souls of lost people wander, and here we have one of these creepy stories becoming true. 2 nurses were chatting outside the room when one of them saw someone passing through the glass door. It was an unsettling figure covered in all black. The man quickly went after it and looked into the room. He saw the trolley moving from its place on its own. He looked into every corner, but there was no one. The other nurse was terrified and ran away. That moment was the point when they realized it was really a spirit passing. Mysterious workout. Not only humans, but also devils want to be fit now. The weird video came from an outdoor gym in Las Vegas. It showed the gym machines moving on their own. This creepy sight seemed like someone was using these machines. But in reality, there was no one in that area because it was the middle of the night. So yes, devils do go to the gym, and maybe someday you will see them doing workout with you. Unusual eyes. In a political gathering, this video was caught on camera. The woman was seen behaving erratically. Her eyes could be seen moving upward, and she was raising her eyebrows unnaturally. These eye movements were strange because human eyes do not move like that. People who watched this eerie clip were quick to call it reptilian behavior. And honestly, it clearly looked like a reptilian trying to blend in with us. Eerie, stop.
What the fuck is happening?
This unsettling video was shot in 2019, and now it is circulating all over the internet. It was recorded by a couple driving through Niagara Falls. There were hundreds of people standing roadside. They were not moving, not making any sound. They looked like statues placed there, but they were real humans. Maybe stuck in time or doing some kind of meditation, but later, a commenter said he was one of those people, and they were doing that odd challenge where everyone stops what they're doing and the camera pans around like time froze. Unknown beast.
They said a man was attacked by a bear.
A ranger team went into a forest as locals reported strange happenings in the area. When they were searching the area, a strange thing happened to them as well. One of the rangers came back to the car to collect some stuff, but what he saw was weird. There were big scratching marks on one side of the car. They did not look like any wild animal's nail scratches. Something was unsettling happening there, but they could not find anything. And the reason behind these happenings remains a mystery. If you guys know anything about it, do share your thoughts in the comments below.
Y'all know what that means, right? When he got attacked by that bear, I think that was his supper.
Disturbing symbol. Sometimes the ordinary-looking things can reveal big secrets. A show was going on in a stadium where this group was making different formations, but a moment came when they made this weird symbol that grabbed the attention of the audience. They formed a 5-pointed star with their arms, which is called a pentagram. But it was not any normal pentagram. They made it look like that pentagram with a goat's head that is used in occult traditions. Theistic Satanists also sometimes use this pentagram, known as the Seal of Satan. It is also the official emblem of the Church of Satan. It felt like they were giving a message. Spooky friend. A man was on a hiking trip when he met with this strange entity. It was a small, doll-like being with weird, scattered facial features and brown, messy hair. The man was sitting on the trunk, and it was standing beside him holding his hand. The entity looked excited as it was moving with joy and had a strange-looking smile. It looked like that possessed doll in the movie Annabella, but it was friendly with the man and did not do anything to him. Rocking chair.
So Ruthie, you don't believe this?
Well, I'm not. I don't believe in things being haunted.
This couple made headlines when, in an interview, they revealed that a creepy Victorian doll harmed the man. They bought this vintage doll from a second-hand shop for just £5. They thought of making a profit, but the doll had other plans. While the woman was telling all this, something terrifying happened. The doll sitting right beside her on a rocking chair started rocking on its own on live TV. After this moment, they were sure that the haunted doll was possessed by something sinister, and they sold it online as soon as possible.
We'll buy them because they look like they're worth more than £5 each. Yeah, hands up, I bought them to resell.
That chair's getting
Chair's
to rock.
rocking.
Look at that.
Who's doing that? Stop it. Please do.
Unexplainable moment. At a jewelry store, an employee was sitting in her spot when suddenly the door opened on its own, and the girl went over to assist. She greeted what she thought was a customer and started chatting and showing her around. But the strangest part was that there was no one who entered the store. The other workers saw her talking and came to her. They asked her why she was talking to herself, and she answered, "I am helping the customer who walked in." Then they told her that there is no one here. She looked around and was unable to explain what had just happened and fainted. Stuck in past. A boxer was in the middle of the ring when he started behaving strangely. He was fighting like the fight was still continuing. But the disturbing thing was with whom. He kept fighting, and his coach was trying to stop him, but he did not stop. It looked like an invisible opponent in his head. Psychological experts said that he was having flashes of the fights he had because of the heavy blow to the head. Unknown pull. She was sitting at her desk doing her shift when she took out her phone and started recording herself. She was doing it for a fun part, but it was not fun anymore when she felt a sharp pull in her hair. Her hair strand was bent unnaturally, making a semicircle. She could not see anyone there, but she felt like someone was pulling her hair. The girl was unable to process what happened with her and who did it. Strange people. Look at these men. A security camera recorded these 3 men in the middle of the night. They were not walking or hanging out. 2 of them were lifting a car with their single hands. Yes, you heard right. With their single hands, they lifted a freaking car. There were no wires or any equipment attached to the car that made it even more disturbing. This looked insane and unreal, and I don't know how to explain this sight. But if you guys can give a logical explanation for this, do share your thoughts in the comments. Mirror mystery. A passenger caught this eerie sight on camera while traveling on a train. This girl was sitting in front of him, and she was doing a strange thing. She was applying her lipstick. Sounds normal, right? But this was not it. The girl was looking at her palm and putting on her lipstick. It seemed like her palm was super reflective and was working as a mirror for her, but it's hard to believe. She could be pretending to gain attention, and did so. Lucky moment. This CCTV captured something unbelievable in 2019. A mysterious man was passing by the road when he tapped the shoulder of another man walking and told him to look around. The man looked behind and was luckily saved by the ladder on the truck. The mysterious man disappeared right after it and was never seen again. He appeared in time to save him, and this could not be a coincidence. Glitch or hoax? 2 guys were seen walking on the streets of New York. They were walking casually, and one of them was holding a folder that was red. But then a transition came as he crossed a car. This time the folder was green, and this transition was unsettling. Some people called it a hoax, but the video came from a news agency that does not joke around, and they claim that it was caught on live video. So there is no chance of it being a hoax. If we go for a more logical reason, then we can say that it was a glitch in the Matrix caught on tape.
By 2050. But how much will coronavirus impact what many believed would be a green budget?
Night scare. Who thought that a mannequin could grab the attention of people? Not because of the clothes, but the eerie movements. A guy was hanging around in the streets at night when his camera caught this unsettling thing. This mannequin moved its head to the left. Yes, it moved. It was the creepiest moment and scary as well. Paranormal enthusiasts were quick to say that it was someone's soul resting in. But later, the locals confirmed that there was this shop that makes humans look like mannequins with makeup and bodysuits. Creepy granny. A man installed cameras in his house to check on his grandmother because she had been behaving strangely over the past few days. He took her into the room and let her sleep. The next morning, he checked the footage, and what he saw was eerily disturbing. The woman woke up in the middle of the night and stood straight. Then her mouth opened creepily, and she sped away from the sight. After a few seconds, she appeared again. But this time, she came straight in front of the camera, showing her weird teeth. The woman was walking strangely in the room and was making eerie faces. Her behavior and appearance were not normal. She had a demonic possession. Honestly, this was the scariest thing I have ever seen. Old secrets.
We got all the screws out, now we're going to see what is behind this door. Oh my god, what?
While exploring his 500-year-old family home in Sussex, this man, Freddie Goodall, made a weird discovery. He found hidden passageways behind a bookshelf. He said he spotted this mystery doorway in old photos from the 1800s and decided to see. Inside it, he found tunnels starting from one end of the house to the other. Some seemed to lead to nearby buildings and even a church. Also saw dusty rooms, cobwebs, and even a locked safe filled with old documents. The house had once been a school, and he found books and names scratched into the walls, likely by students who had sneaked inside. Freddie shared his finds on TikTok, saying that he will keep searching for more forgotten secrets.
In the end, I did manage to get out the lockbox. First off, here are a few books that I found. This one was tucked right at the back and dates back to 1848. They both contain lots of information on the house.
Subscriber pick. Today's subscriber pick of the day is an insanely eerie incident that was caught on camera. It showed a man in the grocery store, but he was not doing groceries. The man was in the air holding a trolley. It looked like he was levitating. His legs were up, and the trolley was moving forward on its own, which was logically impossible. But the most disturbing thing was that he was not doing it on his own. Something was controlling his body and lifting him. People around him started capturing this eerie moment on their phones. They were shocked to see this strange sight, and I am leaving this to you to decide what was happening there. Share your opinions down in the comments.